Welcome to this edition of On the Scene. I'm your host, Tim Kelly. Today's program, we're talking holiday events here in Suffolk, including some great offerings from the Division of Tourism, also the 40th annual Nansemond Suffolk Historical Society Candlelight Tour. We're going to preview that and a multitude of events. Stay tuned. Welcome back to On the Scene, joined now by Teresa Earls, the Tourism Development Manager for the City of Suffolk and the Division of Tourism. Teresa, thanks for being with us as always.
Thank you.
Holidays, we're talking about it. You can kind of tell by the decor that that's what we're going to be hitting up. So we're going to kick it off, and there's a lot of things to cover in this segment, but everything kind of starts in Suffolk where we talk about holidays with the Grand Illumination.
Absolutely.
And what's the rationale as far as how that kind of sets up the rest of the holiday season?
Well, the illumination is when we light the Christmas tree at Market Park, which is the little park adjacent to Seaboard Station Railroad Museum on North Main Street. And that will be Friday, November 18th at 6 o'clock. And that's a chance for us to literally light the city. So we will have the lights on the different buildings and the trees downtown. And the idea is to really create that holiday experience and encourage people to go downtown and shop and go to the restaurants and really take their families out and experience everything that the holidays have to offer, and to really get people in the mindset of hopefully holiday shopping,
right,
and reminding them to shop small, and support our local owned and operated businesses.
Right.
But it's a great opportunity to come out and let the kids meet Santa,
right,
who is the best Santa
yes,
ever, because he's real.
Well, there's only one Santa.
Yeah,
and of course, we're lucky enough to get him on that night.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, I've been told there are some other people out there parading themselves as Santa, but this is the Santa, and he is amazing. And we have visits with Santa. We have a 32-foot tree that we light usually at the end of the count of 10, if the electricity agrees with us. We also will have a puppet show,
right,
and arts and crafts and music. So it's just a fun, festive time. And there'll be hot cocoa to purchase and that sort of thing. And it's free and open to the public. Right. Oh, and horse and carriage rides.
That's right.
I think they're like $3
a
person.
Minimal charge at best for that.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's a great opportunity just to come out. It's a Friday night. You can grab the kids, bring them out after work, and it'll be so much fun. And it really does set off the season
Correct.
in Suffolk. The following week is Thanksgiving.
Right.
So I know we're a little early, but I really like to take advantage of the whole season.
Sure. You talked about the connection with the Grand Illumination and thinking about shopping.
Yes.
And I think that's perfect because, Thanksgiving weekend, a lot of people are off for their businesses or whatever are shut down. Restored. Yes. Very unique event to shop in Suffolk. It's on November 26th, I believe. But tell us a little bit about what Restored is all about. So again, if you're thinking about holiday gifts, this might be a great way to get started as well.
Well, obviously Black Friday gets a lot of press.
Right.
And so, on Black Friday, everyone will be racing to the big box stores to get the best deals.
Sure.
But on Saturday, it's traditionally called Small Business Saturday. It's nationwide. And we encourage people to support your locally owned and operated businesses. Shop small, the handcrafted, unique items, the independent operators out there that aren't affiliated with big box stores, right, that do not have the same leverage, obviously, as some of the bigger corporations, sure, and really supporting your local economy. And so for several times now, we've offered, it's called Restored.
Restored, okay.
And it's a combination of taking your merchants who are already established, along with your eateries and folks in your area, and then bringing in some other small businesses to set up a temporary shop, right, in some of our unused buildings, or their current ones that are currently not rented, sure, or leased. Sure. It gives them a chance to kind of have an incubator of sorts, right, to test the market, to see if it's something that they would like to set up a real store, a more permanent structure, so they right, can kind of, test the market. And then we get a chance to go in and shop some unusual items that we normally wouldn't be able to shop. Right. And they combine it, our economic development department, which tourism is a part of, but correct, our economic development department really leads the way on this. And there'll be live entertainment, and Santa will be stopping by there, and kids activities, and it's just a really great program to get everyone out and shopping. Right. And you're going to have that fatigue, sure, after Thanksgiving and Black Friday. This is a really great chance just to kind of de-stress and to find some unique gifts and find something that's a little more thoughtful is probably not the right word, but you put a little more truly thought into it, where you're not going to get a waffle maker, right? But you might get something truly handcrafted, or something that you would have never thought about before. And brings in people to our area and allows them to see everything that we have to offer. And you'll have eateries and things downtown that you can stop by for lunch, and it's free and open to the public, so you can just stop and peruse.
And I think it's great because you're capitalizing on what we already have.
Exactly.
And then bringing in the new element that is potential. Like you said, you talked about the word incubator, and I think it's a great term for what we're doing here. But the fact that you give people an opportunity to sort of have a shop setting, get their wares out there, and determine, you know what, there may be an audience for me after all, and then all it does is help grow sort of the, was it rising tide?
Floats all boats.
Right, exactly. Sort of that theory, but I think, like you said, it's a more of a relaxed environment, casual, and again, because it's coordinating again in that downtown core area, everybody is on the same page, everybody's working together, and it just gives you the opportunity to have a venue, a location. You go, you kind of just chill out, have a good time, do some shopping, get some good food, have a good time.
And this particular restored pop-up shop Saturday will be in downtown on Main Street and Washington Street.
Okay.
So there will be plenty of banners, balloons, signs. You won't be able to miss it. So don't worry. But it's 10 to 4.
Yep.
And we have information on our website, which is visitsuffolkva.com. And then yessuffolk.com is the economic development site. So you can find information there as well.
Good way to hunt that down. Now, of course, you talked about the restored event, and then one of the events you're having here at the Visitor Center Pavilion is the Artisan Fair, which we've had a couple years now. And it's sort of a, and I don't know, if tell me if I'm wrong, but it's sort of a outcropping, if you will, of the farmers market to a degree.
To a degree.
Because we're talking about local items, right? Yes.
We're in the same location. It's the pavilion behind the Visitor Center. And it's not, you're not going to find the produce. You're not. If you're looking for, collards and pumpkins, not going to be
your day. Yeah.
But you might find baked goods.
Correct.
Because people like to receive food. Let's be real. People like jellies, jams, pickles, and that sort of thing. But it's more of your handcrafted, homemade items. Right. So you might find special pottery or photography or crocheted items and jewelry, and it's really interesting to find. We have one vendor who comes back who does dog cookies, like gourmet dog cookies. Okay. And I think that's great because, who doesn't like to spoil their pups?
Of course. That's what they're there for.
But it's fun.
Yeah.
It's free and open to the public. We'll have live music throughout the day, complimentary refreshments. Santa will again be paying a visit. Right. Santa's very popular in Suffolk this year. We're really pleased.
We're Santa friendly.
Yes. He heard it's a good time to be in Suffolk. So
as always,
he's sticking around.
Very good.
So that is Saturday, December 3rd. It's the first Saturday in December. And it is outside. So if it's chilly, we recommend wearing a coat. But you can always come in the visitor center, grab a cup of coffee, cup of tea, and warm up, and then go back out and shop. But nobody really likes to go holiday shopping until it's kind of chilly. Of
course,
we've had it 70 degrees, and it's like it doesn't.
Not
really
the same feel. Yeah,
it's like it feels like it's May. It doesn't feel like December, but it's always a fun time. Yeah. And it's a chance to get people to the pavilion and the visitor center, and we also have a gift shop inside the visitor center, which is always popular during the holiday season because we have Suffolk specific items.
That's right.
And especially if you have someone who lives far away or someone moved away from Suffolk or someone in the military, you might want to send them something from home. So we have that sort of thing.
Very good. Now that's on the 3rd.
Yes.
Following Saturday, December the 10th, will be the holiday parade, of course, in downtown Suffolk. And again, that is sort of not the culmination because there's still more to come. And I know we only got a couple of minutes left and a couple other events we want to bring up happening right where we're going to be here. But holiday parade, 7 o'clock kickoff, downtown Suffolk, the lights, the sounds, everything right there. Again, that holiday atmosphere, courtesy of the city of Suffolk, multiple departments, tourism, parks and rec, other departments pulling together, public works, police, fire, everybody kind of pulls together to make that event really happen and special.
Yes, absolutely. Now, that is the day of the parade, and earlier that day, if you want to come sooner, tourism is actually sponsoring the movie Finding Dory, which I can't wait. I'm purposely not seeing it until the 10th. At the Suffolk Center for Cultural Arts. We typically do movies at the Pavilion, but it's a little chilly in December. So we're going to do it at the Suffolk Center for Cultural Arts. It's at 2 p.m. It's free and open to the public. First come, first serve. We have seats for about 500 people. And we do encourage people to bring a non-perishable food item for donation. They don't have to, but if they'd like to, we certainly welcome it. And that's at 2 o'clock on December 10th. And then, like you said, the parade's at 7. You can always stick around after the movie, get a bite to eat, then stake out your spot because it's a very popular parade. And we have beautiful lights and floats and bands. The bands are wonderful.
And we know the weather's going to be great as always, right?
Don't do that to me. But that's a great
Yes.
chance. And then it goes right into additional Santa visits at the visitor center.
Yes.
You don't have to go to a shopping mall and stand in line for 2 hours.
Right.
We have Santa coming to visit us on the weekends from 11 to 4
Mm-hmm.
at the Suffolk Visitor Center, the 10th, the 11th, the 17th, and 18th. The 18th is a little shorter day.
Right.
It's 12 to 3 because it's pet day. So if you have a dog, a cat, a snake, a
Right.
rabbit, we've had all critters.
Right.
We've had lizards and everything, a ferret. I know. We're
Santa
very
takes them all,
friendly.
doesn't he?
That's right.
Yeah.
And so you can bring your pet and take your photo with Santa. Now, we do encourage you, you have to bring your own camera.
Right,
And
okay.
everybody has a cell phone now that takes pictures, so it's
course.
really not an issue. But that's why it's free, because we're not taking the photos, we're not developing them
You're
like you
providing
would.
the setting,
Exactly.
but yeah, I
We
understand.
hook you up with the man,
Right.
and then you take the picture. But you can bring your kids, and that way
Sure.
if they cry, you can always come back the next day,
Right.
or you can walk around and give them a second chance. It's, like I said, low stress.
Mm-hmm.
We give them a candy cane. There's complimentary refreshments, and Santa is wonderful. We have the same families come back year after year.
Of course.
And if you need to get a message to Santa ahead
Right.
of time, we can hook you up with that too.
Very good. Now, of course, we talked, and just, I know people know, but I always like to bring it up.
Yes.
Where are we? When we talk about the Suffolk Visitor
Yes.
Center, talk about the location, just in case you haven't been here before.
I was gonna say, shame on you.
I know.
No, there's always people that haven't heard, because we drive by the same things every day and
Sure,
don't always realize they're
sure.
there. We are actually in the old Nansemond County Courthouse, which is the beautiful building with the wonderful columns in front
Right.
on the corner of Constance and Main. Our address is 524 North Main Street. We are open 7 days a week, 9 to 5. We will be closed Thanksgiving and the day after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
We'll be closed Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. And then on New Year's Eve, we close at 3, and we're closed New Year's Day.
Okay.
But that's all we close for the entire
Yeah.
year, unless, of course, we get a massive snowstorm.
Right.
But other than that, we're always open 9 to 5, 7 days a week.
Good deal.
So we're here for shopping, we're here for directions or whatever you might possibly need.
Perfect.
And you can always find us at
That's right.
visitsuffolkva.com.
Very good website. Again, looking at events, the calendar
Yes.
events that's there. Again, what's going on, what tourism are doing, what some other entities around the
Yes,
city are doing.
citywide.
So a great resource to tap into. Of course, you always come to the visitor center. Friendly people, great staff, willing to help and kind of help you plan your visit to Suffolk.
Absolutely.
Or, and certainly other information, because it is a certified visitor center as well,
Yes,
correct?
we are a state certified visitor center, and we also will help you if you're planning a reunion,
Right.
a wedding, a conference, a retreat. These are services that we provide, and we work with groups year round. So we're happy to provide whatever kind of assistance we can.
Perfect.
But also, speaking of holiday events,
Yes.
the city has a special holidays in Suffolk page that you can get to at suffolkva.us/holidays.
Right.
So if you just want holiday information, you can go there. But if you want citywide calendar as far as things that may not be specifically holiday, that's where visitsuffolkva.com comes in. And we try to keep it up, like you say.
Sure.
And if there's information too, if you're planning an event
Right.
or planning a meeting, a
Correct.
wedding, you can find it there as well.
Right. Very good.
So we have everything in one spot.
And that's the way we keep it nice and easy and informational. And as Teresa said, everything is there again for your taking, so to speak. But again, thank you for spending time with us today. Talk about the holidays here in Suffolk and what the Division of Tourism is doing to make it extra special as always during the holiday season.
try.
You succeed. Thanks very much, Teresa.
Thank you.
We'll have more on the scene when we return. Welcome back to On the Scene, joined now by Sandra Council. She is the president of the Nansemond Suffolk Historical Society. Spending some time with us to talk about a very special event coming up in early December. And it's hard to believe it's the 40th edition of the Candlelight Tour Series.
Yes.
So again, coming up, again, thank you for being with us. Let's talk about when it's going to happen and kind of what area of the city is going to be focused on this year.
Okay, this year, I'm so excited about our tour because we have the whole downtown community involved in every aspect. Usually we just have houses, but this year we've incorporated houses, businesses, and the churches.
Very good.
I love the name of the tour this year. It's called The Sights and Sounds of Christmas, and we're going to add lots and lots of music everywhere that the tour is this year.
Right. Very good.
Every church is going to have music playing or people singing. We don't have the time slot yet.
Right.
But I think it's going to be wonderful. You can just go in the church and hear Christmas music. Another thing that we're doing this year, the tour used to be a candlelight tour from 4 to 7.
Right.
But we went to changing it, earlier in the day.
Right.
But we're going back to the candlelight tour format from 4 to 7.
Okay.
And, you know, a lot of people say, well, you know, people have a hard time seeing in the dark. People don't want to drive in the dark.
Right.
But we're making it so easy because it's all in a little teeny section. There's going to be lots of lights,
Right.
lots of candles. Don't laugh, but if people think in today's world we see craziness on TV, we're going to have lots of policemen around.
Right.
They always help us.
Of course.
So it's going to be a safe,
Sure.
easy,
Sure.
close environment to have our tour this year.
And as always, I'm sure you will have people with the organization, and you noted the Suffolk Police helping out as well, but directing people. So it's not, and again,
Right.
because it's the area, I mean, we all know how, you know, downtown is. You got a multitude of businesses and everything packed in there, a lot of churches as noted as well. So I think that's a unique aspect, but the fact that I know in the past tours sometimes you've had to kind of go from house to house or location to location, and you know, you either take your own car, but you can kind of just park,
Right.
get out and go, right?
Right. Yes, that's the beauty of this tour.
Yes.
You can just park your car one time and go. We are going to have people dressed in costume
Okay.
on the streets,
All right.
in front of buildings to help people along. And so I think everybody should love it because I think walking together and it's music and lights
Right.
just puts happiness in your heart. It
Indeed.
has to.
So the dates for this year, it's the 3rd and 4th of December?
It's the 3rd and 4th
Okay.
of December from
All
3 to 7.
Okay.
Tickets are $25 the day of the tour. You can buy them $20 in advance.
Mm-hmm.
You can get them at the Dawson House.
Okay.
You can get them at the train station.
Right.
You can get them here.
Okay.
Suffolk Insurance Company has them in their North Suffolk division. A. Dotson in North Suffolk
Mm-hmm.
is selling them. So there are numerous places that you can buy a ticket in advance.
Right.
The day of the tour, however, we're going to sell them at the Dawson House.
Right.
We're changing that format for lots of reasons. But this year, we're really making the Dawson House a Christmas tour there.
Right.
We're decorating the building.
Very good.
We're having Christmas music there. We will have our tree. We're going to have a little snack.
Right.
We're going to have the Sugar Plum Ferry in the back room, and that's where you can come and buy goods
Got it.
to just add calories to your day.
Well, if you're doing a lot of walking, you get a chance to burn some of that off in case you
Right.
partake right there, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm thrilled as president of the Historical Society that we are going to have the Dawson House as the center of our tour this
Very
year.
good. Very good.
And we have so many wonderful flower arrangements, and people who are great in the city are going to make the Dawson House
Right.
look the best it's looked, I think, in a very long time.
Very good.
Another aspect of the tour, since we're downtown and businesses are going to be open, along with houses and churches,
Sure.
all of the local restaurants in downtown have agreed to give 10% off to people who bring the ticket in for a whole week.
Oh, wow.
It's not just the 2 days of the tour,
Okay.
but the whole following week.
Very good.
And so we really would like to say thank you because they have agreed to be part of this wonderful event.
Very good. Well, you know, and talk about what goes on sort of maybe behind the scenes a little bit with regard to putting this event together. I mean, you have so many locations. There's so much coordination of everything, the decorating and everything that has to come into play. But I mean, this just doesn't happen overnight. I mean,
No.
this is a lot of time and planning to make all this come to pass, right?
Yes, it takes the whole village. I love that expression,
Right.
the whole village, to make this come into play.
Sure.
And we had a hard time starting this time. But Hazel White stepped up to the plate, and she has done an incredible job. I can't say enough kudos about Hazel. What it takes is, first of all, you have to beg some people to open,
Right.
and that
Yeah.
takes a lot of energy and time. After you get the houses in place, then you have to meet with the owners numerous times about what they're going to open in their house, what parts of the house we're going to decorate,
Right.
who's going to be the hostesses.
Right.
It's just a lot of background work. And you're right, it doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't happen in a
Right.
day. It really, to have a great tour, it really takes like 6 months. I'd like to say another kudos to the local garden clubs, because they've really stepped up to the plate for us this year also.
Now, when someone goes on the tour, maybe people who have not partaken before, how does it work? When you go to each location, you have people that have information about the site. I mean, obviously you have things you can look at, but you also have some interaction. So if you have questions or whatever, that's typically, and it's going to be the same way this year, despite the fact that it's not just homes, as you noted off the top.
Right. There will be a host or hostesses at every building.
Okay.
And they will have a little talk beforehand, like Fred Taylor. You know Fred Taylor, I'm sure.
Yes.
Fred is great at it. He was like at the Prentice House before, and I told him he had to be at the Prentice House again. So we have people that will give you in advance, before you go in the buildings, a history. Like at the churches, they will give you a little history of the church. The houses. Now, actually, as you know, on the tour this year, we really only have 2 houses that people live in. Well, actually, one of them is going to be a bed and breakfast, but we have the Beatty House on Penner, and we have the Truett House right across from the Dawson House, which is going to eventually be a bed and breakfast.
Very good.
And then when you walk down Main Street, you will go into the old post office that is Pretlow and Jackson Law Firm. You will go into the Van Varken House, which is Edward Jones Insurance. And that house is absolutely wonderful. And I'm so mad I didn't buy it. They did. So I'll just add that for the
Different story for a different day, right?
Yes. Okay, we're going to open the Prentice House again.
Okay.
And in the past, we had that 14-foot Christmas tree or whatever it was in the entrance hall that everybody went wow about. We're going to have a wow tree in the entrance hall again. And like I said, it's just all an easy distance. Before the day of the tour, hopefully the week before, we will be able to run the music times in the churches, because sometimes they're going to have singing, sometimes just music, and but we don't have that time slots in place at this time.
But that's a nice element to add because, again, it just really brings in the holiday spirit and the fact that, you're focused in a small area there, but the fact that it's going to carry throughout. You talk about the partnerships with the businesses, the restaurants, I should say, given the discounts. I mean, it really just is a community event. And again, thank you to the Historical Society for putting all this together and making this happen for the 40th annual here. So, I mean, but it really, every year is a little bit different, which I know brings different elements to it. This year, probably with the 40th anniversary, we want to do something special, and I think y'all are definitely accomplishing that. So we talked about the tickets. Again, it's $20 in advance. And you have multiple locations, and we'll have those locations on the screen. But also $25 day of, and day of, you can only purchase those at the Phillips Dawson House, correct?
Right, exactly. Okay. Because, that is the focus of all of this. And since we are going overboard this year, well, maybe not overboard, but since we're making it very Christmassy inside, and we will have music there the whole time. It's just going to be a wonderful, wonderful, joyous sights and sounds to start off our holiday season.
Very good. And again, dates December 3rd and 4th. Again, we talked about the tickets. We'll put the website up on the screen for the Historical Society. So again, a lot of information to be gleaned from that. So again, just be sure to check it out. The date is coming up fast. I want to get your tickets soon. And again, Sandra, thank you and everybody involved with the Historical Society for everything you do throughout the year, but for bringing it all together for this special event that we always look forward to every holiday season. Again, it's a great way to start the holiday season, to get you kind of thinking and get you in that festive spirit. And the fact that you're bringing everyone together in that downtown area. I wanted to ask real quick, I think we have a minute or so left to go, parking. Where would you suggest people to park the day of either event when you attend?
Okay.
Suggestions?
Yes. First of all, I just want to reiterate, it's going to be a very safe environment. And even though it's going to be 3 to 7, there's going to be so much light. The candle lights, the lights we put on the street lights. Where would I park? You can park in the church parking lots. That's going to be a great place. Because there are lots of churches right together with parking. Park on the street. Park on the side streets. You can park down at the train station, because that's going to be open for the tour. And we're going to have, Manette Harrell is going to be signing her handbook there.
Oh, wow.
For the tour.
Very good.
So you have the train station. You have all that parking that the city has put in down near the train station. Churches, streets, it should not be a problem
Very good.
parking it at all. And of course, we have city parking right behind the Historical Society building
That's
that
right.
belongs to the court
Yeah,
system.
that's right. The courthouse, big lot right there as well. But everything, again, is nicely condensed, so to speak.
Yes.
And the fact that it'll just flow, I'm sure there'll be plenty of signage, plenty of folks to point you in the right direction,
Right.
move you through. And of course, everything kind of, so to speak, starts at the Philip Dawson House, again, it's home to the Historical Society. And again, if you get your tickets in advance, you can save a little bit, but if you want to wait to the day of, plenty of opportunities
Plenty
there.
of opportunities.
So again, December 3rd and 4th, the 40th annual Suffolk Nansemond Historical Society Candlelight Tour, something to definitely put in your calendar this holiday season. Sandra, I want to thank you for spending time with us today to talk about this great event. We're looking forward to it.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and I hope everyone will come out and support us, join in the cheer. And I know that the Historical Society probably doesn't want me to say this, but I say what I want to say. It is just going to be a magical night to walk the streets here, because it is really going to be like old-time Christmas,
Right.
when people walked and looked into storefronts.
Yes.
And so I think in a historical aspect, it's going to be a great tour for that also.
Great. Well, you couldn't have ended the segment any better than that. Sandra, again, thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
And that would do it for this edition of On the Scene. I'm your host, Tim Kelly. We'll see you next time.